Switching seats with the driver. It's a really bad idea. Hi, I'm Northern Virginia criminal defense attorney Scott Nolan, and I'm here to talk to you about why you shouldn't switch seats with the driver when you're pulled over. As in every other state, it's illegal to be intoxicated and drive a vehicle here in Virginia. And it's pretty common that someone will try to switch seats with the driver knowing that the passenger is more sober, or perhaps the driver has a prior record and might get in more trouble, or they're on probation, or maybe they're even concerned about immigration consequences. So it's pretty common that we see the passenger try and switch seats with the driver. So this attempt to fool the law enforcement officer isn't going to work. They're watching closely for their own safety, and they're going to see you switching seats. Even if they somehow miss it, they're going to notice a lot of motion in the vehicle. And that's what police call furtive motions, and that gives them the authority to pull you over or to investigate what's going on in your car. When the police first approach your vehicle, they may not have probable cause to search, but if they've noticed these so-called furtive motions, that's going to give them probable cause to search your car. And that's another reason why it's a really bad idea. Finally, almost all of these vehicles are equipped with cameras, and even if the police officers don't catch it the first time, they're definitely going to review that camera footage before going to trial. And if they then see you switching seats, that's going to be an additional charge, potentially for both the driver and the passenger. Sometimes the case is not about a DUI, sometimes it's about a traffic accident, and the driver and the passenger will switch seats to avoid liability on the driver's part. But the police can take a look at the story given by the two parties and compare them to see if they tell the same story. They can also look at the physical evidence of injury and other things that are going on in the car to determine whether or not the person who's said to be the driver was really the driver. In addition, even if the officer didn't notice the switching of seats, there's usually witnesses to an accident. And if those witnesses state that the passenger and the driver switched seats, usually the original driver is going to be charged. If this was done in an insurance case or to avoid insurance penalties, then not only is providing false evidence to a police officer a crime, but both parties could then be charged with insurance fraud and perjury, both of which are felonies. So stay in your seat. If you'd like to discuss a traffic case or any other area of the law, please feel free to give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. And you have a nice day.